We're in Curaçao and we bypassed the bus tours and hired a private guide to take us out for the day. One of my favorite stops was Playa Piskado. It's about a 35 to 40-minute drive from the cruise port, but we thought it was worth it. If you don't have a private driver, you can rent a car or you can take a taxi. Taxis are a little bit more pricey, and you need to make sure that you've arranged for the taxi to take you back because you're going to a part of the island that's a little bit more remote.
We're in Wilhelmina
Wilhelmina Plain?
Plain, and there are four neighborhoods here, and they're all very distinctive, very colorful, neoclassic buildings, early Dutch, just gorgeous.
The colors are fabulous.
I'm looking at some of the dates on the buildings, so, 18th century, 1750, so on. And they have our driver Joseph was telling us that they have very strict building codes here, trying to preserve architecture.
Because this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hey, one of the things that makes this really special is that we are not in the hurricane belt. So they are not prone to hurricanes, volcanoes, tornadoes, or earthquakes. And so they're able to preserve their buildings in ways that other Caribbean islands might not have the opportunity to do. Let's get out to the beach and see what we can see. Playa Piskado is a relatively small beach, but it has something very special going on. It's more than pelicans, and it's more than schools of fish. It's more than just a place where local fishermen come to dock their boats and clean their catch. Playa Piskado is known for its green turtles. A local man known as the Turtle Whisperer is really not much more than a guy with a machete who is throwing leftover fish guts into the water, but it creates an entire parade of turtles. You can see them from the pier, but it's so much more fun to get into the water with them. Playa Piskado is a public beach and there is no fee for going to it. I had my own snorkel equipment, so there was no cost there either. And you could even go without snorkel equipment. It really is shallow. You can stand in the water and you'll be able to see right through the water. I saw other people there with water scooters that allowed them to make tracks out to the reef that is just beyond the pier. And if you wanted a beach day, this is just a great place to come. If you were looking for just some time with the turtles, you can probably spend 45 minutes here and get your fill. There is a boat ramp going into the water. You do not want to use the boat ramp. It tends to be really slippery. And there are some sea urchins on the right side of the boat ramp if you're looking out towards the water. It's best just to go in directly from the beach. It's easy, it's sandy, that you shouldn't have any trouble coming in from there. And I can just about guarantee you will see turtles. I happened to see a really interesting facet of the sea turtles. This one in particular that you're watching now had a fish that was literally connected to its underside the entire time I was out there. And that's a pretty normal phenomenon. This is a remora, and what it does is has a little suction cup on its head that it will attach to the bottom of the sea turtle, and it just tags along for a free ride. The sea turtle does all of the transportation for it, and it also is able to scavenge off of any leftover algae that the turtle doesn't eat or any algae that's on the turtle. So it could be a symbiotic relationship where it's eating from the turtle and cleaning the turtle, and the turtle's giving it free transportation and food leftovers, but probably the remora's got the better end of the deal. It probably gets more than it gives to the turtles. Remora will also attach themselves to sharks and whales and other larger animals, again, just looking for a free ride. In general, green sea turtles are actually herbivores, and they're usually feasting on algae and seaweed and that sort of thing. But when they're babies, they are omnivores, and so they will eat the fish leftovers. It's interesting that the turtle whisperer is bringing turtles in with dead fish that probably aren't part of their natural diet.
Leave it all behind. Let it all go. It's not worth it anymore. You can't convince them or change their minds. It's hard to be kind. You're accused out of thin air. Some people, you know them, and they won't know you. Friends can easily become.
As a responsible tourist, you want to make sure that you are not touching the turtles, getting too close to them, or trying to hold them. Unfortunately, the turtles didn't get that message, and they are right up in your business quite frequently. So it's a different thing. If they come to you, that's different. It's when you're going to them and chasing them that you want to make sure you're not disturbing their natural habits and patterns. They are not afraid of you, and they believe you to be a source of food. Not that they're going to eat you, just that they think you've brought something with you. Most green sea turtles have really flat shells and flat bodies because it helps them with aerodynamic swimming and allows them to dive deeper quicker. And most of the turtles that we saw really are very flat, and they're distinctive in their shell markings. That's how you know it's a green sea turtle. And because they're herbivores and feeding on seagrass, their fat and cartilage will have a greenish tinge, which is how they got their name. That shell, both its top, which is called a carapace, and its bottom, known as the plastron, is actually a part of their extended rib cage and vertebrae system. It has these little tiny bones underneath the shell that are then layered upon with these scutes, which is nothing more than the same kind of substance that your fingernails are made out of, keratin. But that shell is an integral part of its body, both the top and the bottom. So a turtle doesn't actually come out of its shell. It would die without that shell. That's its body. I couldn't get enough of swimming with them, and so there's a whole lot of turtle footage going on here. And if you don't want to watch that, then go ahead and skip forward, and I will share with you a little bit about the other beaches that are along this side of the island, a couple of great places for lunch, and even the best place to watch cliff diving. But if you're like me and you love the turtles, then just sit back and enjoy.
Leave it all behind. Let it all go. It's not worth it anymore. You can't convince them or change their minds. It's hard to be kind. You're accused out of thin air. Some people, you know them, and they won't know you. Friends can easily become a foe. Blood sometimes just won't let you go. When the wind blows and it rains and you don't know why it pains you so, and it won't stop for a while. Just hang in there, it's worthwhile. Don't let it get to you. I know it's hard. Find something to do to keep yourself occupied. When the world gets mad, what you gonna do? You're not young anymore. It's honestly true.
Last night, I had a dream of us coming together. Last night, in my dream, I saw unity. I had a taste of democracy, and I felt safe. East to the west and south to the north, people were living in peace, seeing the eyes of justice everywhere. Every land was thriving with love and prosperity. And I woke up asking myself, oh, I woke up asking myself, why can't we achieve a sustainable peace? Why can't we have a sustainable future? Why can't we achieve a sustainable peace? Why can't we have a sustainable future? Why can't we? Last night, I dreamt of an end to poverty. All nations were growing, all nations stood strong. Smiles of understanding between one another. Politics and music belong to the people again. Equal rights spread amongst all shapes and colors. People were building a beautiful and stable home. Last night, in my dream, I saw humanity. And I woke up asking myself, oh, I woke up asking myself, why can't we achieve a sustainable peace? Why can't we have a sustainable future? Why can't we achieve a sustainable peace? Why can't we have a sustainable future?
I loved having some time that was really quiet with the turtles, but as the tour buses arrived, it became a little bit more crowded. So that's something to think about when you go. If you can go at a time when there's not quite as many people around, you may have a little more intimate experience. But as the buses arrived, that was sort of my time to leave anyway. So we had timed that perfectly. And again, that's the value of having a private driver. I got there before all these guys did. On our way back to town, we stopped at a couple other beaches. We're here at Playa Grandi, and this is a beautiful calm beach. You're on that super calm western side of the island. It's just lovely, and those gorgeous turquoise colors. This is what you come to a Caribbean island for. If you haven't gotten a snack yet, here's a great stop for something cold and something delicious. Playa Piskado is the pier that is directly ahead of us, and there's a small beach there. But you can get similar experiences from these beaches, and these are not bad dive from the beach locations. You can walk in, and there's a reef out there that you can get to for good diving. There is a really great restaurant here with super views and cliff jumping. You do need to make a reservation. It's pretty full, especially on cruise days, tour days. We are up on a cliff edge here, and you need to use extreme caution. This is not something you want to go over the edge on, but this is a place where you can see cliff jumping. This is Playa Forte and the Playa Forte Sea View restaurant. These are open air patios with views out to the sea and back to the beach. Typical dishes would include goat stew and quesillena, which is stuffed cheese. So depending on the tides, you've got a 13-meter jump. 13 meters doesn't sound like much. Put that into feet, you've got a 36 to 40-foot jump off these cliffs. Yikes. Make sure you watch our other video on Sete Boca, which is also on Curaçao, as well as our cruise port guide to Curaçao. And to get in touch with Joey or his wife Jessica, here is their card with contact information.